On to the next page. Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation. Number 1.
I need to get a new student ID card. I seem to have lost my old one, and I need one right away.
Really? Me too. We're going to have to head over to the Student Services office and... Oh, wait a minute. By now they're closed. Won't be open again till Monday morning. So, how about if you meet me there then, just before our biology class?
What can be inferred about the man? Number 2.
Have you seen my calculator? It was right here a minute ago.
Did you look under your book? I'm always losing things that way.
What does the woman imply? Number 3.
Hey, John, you think there's too much red in this painting? I feel like the colors aren't quite balanced.
Why are you asking me? I'm not a fine arts major.
What does the man mean? Number 4.
I hear they're giving free flu shots down at the Student Health Center sometime next week.
Really? When you find out exactly when it is, let me know. I got one last year, and it was the first winter I can remember when I didn't get the flu.
What does the woman imply? Number 5.
Do you want to see the baseball game tomorrow? Joe has an extra ticket.
You must be kidding. 1 week before the finals, when everybody is studying day and night?
What does the man imply? Number 6.
Can you come to that meeting on Friday morning?
This Friday? I'll have to see if I can rearrange my schedule.
What does the woman mean? Number 7.
I just got off the phone with the housing office. I wanted to move to a different dorm, but they won't let me move in the middle of the semester.
Well, I guess you'll just have to make the best of it.
What does the man mean? Number 8.
Excuse me, you didn't happen to see a thick history book here with a blue cover? I hope nobody's taken it.
Oh, that was your book? I took it down to the Lost and Found before someone walked off with it.
What does the woman imply? Number 9.
Can I borrow some money for lunch? I left my purse in the car.
You bought me lunch last week. It's my turn to treat you.
What will the man probably do? Number 10.
My computer screen is flashing, and I can't get it to stop.
Oh, a similar thing happened to me the other day. I'll bet together we can figure out what to do.
What will the woman probably do next? Number 11.
Now that the weather is getting nice, I'd like to get some exercise outside. Do you know anyone who's interested in playing tennis this week?
That's funny. I was thinking the same thing. Are you free on Wednesday morning?
What does the man mean? Number 12.
Is Professor Miller teaching this semester? I can't find her name in this course catalog.
You're looking in the anthropology section. Try biology.
What does the woman mean? Number 13.
John, have you finished your assignment for history class yet? It's due this Thursday, you know.
I had a couple of other things due that same day, so I asked Professor Smith for an extension. She said I could hand it in next week, so I'm concentrating on the other stuff first.
What does the man say about his history assignment? Number 14.
Excuse me, Mrs. Williams. You asked me to stack all of these textbooks on the long shelf by the door, but that shelf is full of sale books.
Right. So you do have more than one job ahead of you.
What does the woman imply? Number 15.
There's so much stress at this time of the year. How do you manage to stay so calm?
Well, the truth is, I only look like I've got it all under control.
What does the woman mean? Number 16.
Hey, you look like you could use a study break. Want to grab a coffee?
Why not? Life's too short to stay in the library all day.
What does the man mean? Number 17.
I'm sorry if I seemed a little cross on the phone yesterday. I'm fine now, but when you called, I really wasn't feeling very well.
Oh, of course. But thanks for letting me know. I was kind of wondering what had come over you.
What does the woman learn from the man? Number 18.
You don't know if Mary's going to the concert tonight, do you? I could really use a ride.
No, but I can get her number for you.
What does the woman imply? Number 19.
Wow, I don't think I could pack one more idea into my head.
Yeah, Professor Black's lectures are something else, aren't they?
What can be inferred from the conversation? Number 20.
Jim, would you do me a big favor?
Well, it depends how long it'll take. I have to leave at 3.
What does the man mean? Go on to the next page. Number 21.
I heard you're taking a photography class at the new studio. What's it like?
Nothing like our old class. And you'd like the instructor, too. You know what? They're offering a free trial class.
What does the man imply the woman should do? Number 22.
I was in such a rush, I scribbled my homework. I hope it's legible.
It is hard to follow. You know, if you start now, you could have it copied neatly by the time it's due.
What can be inferred about the woman's homework? Number 23.
I hear there's a new coffee shop that opened up over the weekend. Want to go check it out?
Thanks. I've been waiting for an excuse to get away from this term paper.
What will the woman probably do? Number 24.
You know, it's been 3 weeks, and I still haven't heard from the chemical company about that job I interviewed for. They said they would call. Do you think maybe I should call them?
I don't think it could hurt.
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 25.
Do you remember when we were with Jim yesterday, how he was talking about running for president of the student government? Do you think he was serious?
You never can tell with Jim. Even when he's telling a joke, he keeps a straight face.
What does the man say about Jim? Number 26.
I haven't slept well for days. Even with a fan on all the time, my room is like an oven.
All of us in the residence halls are in the same boat. But cheer up. The heat wave is supposed to break by the weekend.
What does the woman mean? Number 27.
Those handmade sweaters of yours are really nice. Does it take you a long time to knit one?
Does it ever? You know, as much as I enjoy it, I just can't afford to work on them while school is in session.
What does the woman mean? Number 28.
Do you know when the next bus is supposed to leave for downtown? I need to go get a book for my history class.
Hold on. I've got a schedule here somewhere.
What will the man probably do? Number 29.
I can't imagine what Joe was thinking of when he set up a study group meeting for the first day of the basketball championships.
Well, it doesn't matter to me, but I bet the others will be pretty upset.
What can be inferred about the woman? Number 30.
Do you think that Professor Monroe would let me interview her? I'm writing an article for the newspaper on campus research projects.
Why not? I mean, she loves discussing her research.
What does the man mean? This is the end of Part A. Go on to the next page. Now read along as the directions for Part B are being read. The test continues on Side 2. Part B. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear longer conversations. After each conversation, you will hear several questions. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, On your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part B with the first conversation. Questions 31 through 33. Listen to the conversation between two classmates.
Hi, Marcia. How's your study of DNA coming?
Slow, but sure. I know the definition. It carries the blueprint for human life, but I've got a lot more to learn. You're working with DNA too, right?
Yes, I've been studying the amounts of DNA in fish and frogs. Did you know that some frogs have twice as much DNA as a human being? And are you ready for this? The African lungfish has 42 times as much.
No, I didn't. My research has been focused mostly on human beings. 42 times more than humans? Why do lungfish have so much more DNA than we do? Does it help them to produce more offspring?
No, probably not. But I can't really tell you for sure yet. We're still just collecting data. Doesn't it seem strange that the amount of DNA in a relatively simple organism like a fish is greater than that of a more complex organism such as a human being?
It does seem odd. But come to think of it, in higher organisms only a tiny percentage of DNA, less than 5%, is necessary to carry the instructions for producing life. That means there's a lot of seemingly extra DNA in humans, as much as 95%. Your lungfish has excess amounts as well.
It's very likely, but the question is, why? I've heard one theory that says that some of the extra DNA may selfishly reproduce and increase in number, totally indifferent to the needs of the organism that contains it.
You're saying that sections of the DNA molecule might act like parasites and live off the organism without contributing anything to it, right? I've heard about that theory too, but it's pretty controversial.
Well, not for long, I hope. Which reminds me, I'd better get back to my fish. I should have been at the lab an hour ago.
Number 31. In what field are the speakers doing research? Number 32. Why doesn't the man know why lungfish have large amounts of DNA? Number 33. What does the man mean when he says that some sections of the DNA molecule behave selfishly? Questions 34 through 38. Listen to a conversation between two students.
So, how was the singing competition last weekend?
You don't want to know.
What do you mean? Wasn't it near the beach? That should have been fun.
It should have been fun, but we only came in second place. Not only that, but we weren't even really able to enjoy the beach either.
Hold on. You're upset about finishing second? How many singing groups competed?
About 30. I know second place sounds okay, but that's 3 years in a row we've been in second, and it's the same group that's beaten us 3 years in a row.
Well, that's too bad. But what about the beach? I ended up spending a lot of time studying in the library. I would have loved to be at the beach swimming in the ocean or playing beach volleyball instead of being stuck in the library studying.
Well, it wasn't exactly like that. I had to spend some time studying, too. We really didn't have much free time. We were scheduled almost the whole time, practicing, performing, or watching the competition.
So you were that busy?
Yeah. But you know, the ocean water's still cold, so I don't think we really missed too much.
Well, maybe you guys should plan to go back when the semester's over.
Yep, that's exactly what we have in mind. It should be a lot more fun there when the weather warms up, and we don't have to think about competing.
Number 34. What are the students mainly discussing? Number 35. What does the woman say about the winners of the competition? Number 36. How did the man spend his weekend? Number 37. What does the woman say about her weekend schedule? Number 38. What will the singing group probably do when the semester is over? This is the end of Part B. Go on to the next page. Now read along as the directions for Part C are being read. Part C. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear several short talks. After each talk, you will hear some questions. The talks and the questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. On the recording you hear, "Listen to an instructor talk to his class about a television program."
I'd like to tell you about an interesting TV program that'll be shown this coming Thursday. It'll be on from 9 to 10 p.m. on Channel 4. It's part of a series called Mysteries of Human Biology. And the subject of the program is the human brain, how it functions and how it can malfunction. Topics that will be covered are dreams, memory, and depression. These topics are illustrated with outstanding computer animation that makes the explanations easy to follow. Make an effort to see this show. Since we've been studying the nervous system in class, I know you'll find it very helpful.
Now listen to a sample question. What is the main purpose of the program? In your test book, you read A. To demonstrate the latest use of computer graphics. B. To discuss the possibility of an economic depression. C. To explain the workings of the brain. D. To dramatize a famous mystery story. The best answer to the question, "What is the main purpose of the program?" is C. To explain the workings of the brain. Therefore, the correct choice is C. Now listen to another sample question. Why does the speaker recommend watching the program? In your test book, you read A. It is required of all science majors. B. It will never be shown again. C. It can help viewers improve their memory skills. D. It will help with coursework. The best answer to the question, "Why does the speaker recommend watching the program?" is D. It will help with coursework. Therefore, the correct choice is D. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part C with the first talk. Questions 39 through 42. Listen to part of a talk in a theater history class.
We've spent the last few weeks on the development of serious theater in the United States, looking at the plays and playwrights of the early 1900s. Our next unit is on American musical theater. This type of theater developed from both serious and popular art forms, opera and operetta, dance, drama, and from a form of entertainment called vaudeville, which is where we'll start today. Vaudeville shows originated in Europe, and by the 1800s had become a popular form of entertainment in America. They were basically variety shows, featuring several live entertainers, singers, dancers, comedians, magicians, acrobats, trained animals, in as many as 10 or more acts that were largely unrelated in theme or style. By the early 1900s, vaudeville theaters had sprung up in all the large American cities. In the large theaters, there were usually 2 performances a day. Some theaters would come to have as many as 4 performances a day. But with the introduction of silent films, live performances had to compete with movie theaters, and vaudeville attendance started to decline. So some vaudeville theaters started showing movies as well. The movies were shown in between the vaudeville acts. That kept people coming to vaudeville for a while, but when talking films arrived, vaudeville faced even stiffer competition. And then, with the Great Depression of the 1930s, when Americans had less income to spend on entertainment, and the growth of radio and later on television, vaudeville experienced a further decline, pretty much disappearing entirely by the end of the Second World War.
Number 39. What does the professor mainly discuss? Number 40. According to the professor, what was a characteristic of vaudeville shows? Number 41. According to the professor, why were films shown in between vaudeville acts? Number 42. What happened to vaudeville entertainment during the Great Depression of the 1930s? Questions 43 through 46. Listen to part of a lecture in a meteorology class.
We've been discussing some factors that influence the global climate. Today we're going to talk about a factor that you might find surprising. Surprising because it's so small that you probably wouldn't expect it to be important. That factor is dust. By dust we mean not just tiny pieces of dirt, but any small particles like soot, salt, bacteria, or fungal spores. There are several different methods to collect data on dust. One method is flying into storms with aircraft equipped with dust collection devices. We can then analyze the dust samples to find out what types of dust are present at a given time of year or at a certain location and height in the atmosphere. Well, why would you want to map out how the types and amounts of dust vary under different circumstances? Because different types of dust behave differently and affect the weather in different ways. Some types of dust help raindrops to form. However, other types of dust prevent rain. Although some effects of dust on the climate are now understood, there is some debate about the overall effect of dust on temperature. For example, we know that dust can cool our planet by blocking sunlight from reaching the ground. On the other hand, it can absorb sunlight, warming the atmosphere. This warming effect may have caused the ice ages to end. Hopefully more research will answer the question of just how dust affects the planet's temperature.
Number 43. What is the lecture mainly about? Number 44. According to the professor, why do researchers collect samples of dust? Number 45. Why does the professor discuss rainfall? Number 46. What is one question about temperature that scientists are debating? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to part of the talk in an ancient history class. The professor has been discussing ancient civilizations around the Mediterranean Sea.
Now, many people living near the Mediterranean Sea in ancient times had extensive shipping networks. Two of the most prominent were the Minoans and the Mycenaeans. The Minoans lived on the island of Crete. They did extensive trade by sea, trading farm products and highly prized bronze objects they made, things like weapons and tools. They established a trading network or trading colonies throughout the eastern Mediterranean, and these became great commercial centers. These commercial centers produced real wealth for them, and the Minoans used this wealth to build great palaces and aqueducts, and to improve their harbors on Crete. The Minoan civilization reached its peak in the 16th century BC, but they gradually lost their dominant position to the Mycenaeans, who were from the mainland of Greece, well north of Crete. The Mycenaeans actually learned a lot about sea trade and commerce from the Minoans. But this mentor relationship changed after a volcano erupted on the island of Thera in 1450 BC. Because Thera was so close to Crete, the volcano apparently caused earthquakes that devastated Minoan ships and destroyed important parts of Crete. After that, the Mycenaeans became the dominant sea traders in the area. Now, we knew that natural disaster might have been largely responsible for the decline of Minoan sea trade, but reasons for the decline of Mycenaean sea trade are more controversial. The key factor may have been political unrest, both internally among the Mycenaeans and in countries they traded with, which disrupted trade networks.
Number 47. What does the professor mainly discuss? Number 48. What does the professor say about the large commercial centers throughout the Mediterranean? Number 49. What does the professor say about the volcanic eruption on the island of Thera? Number 50. According to the professor, what might have caused the decline of the Mycenaeans' sea trade? This is the end of Section 1, Listening Comprehension. Stop work on Section 1. This is a reminder. At the end of the test, the supervisor will collect all of the test books.